It was also good that the state of grace lasted only a few moments. If it lasted longer, she was well aware, she who knew her almost childlike ambitions, she'd end up trying to enter the mysteries of nature. As soon as she tried, moreover, she was sure that grace would disappear. For grace was a blessing, and if it demanded nothing, it would vanish if we asked it for an answer. Ugh! You couldn't forget that the state of grace was just a small opening onto the world that was kind of a paradise. But it wasn't like a way in, nor did it give you the right to eat of the fruit of its orchards. She experienced something that seemed to redeem the human condition, though at the same time, the narrow limits of the human condition were accentuated. And exactly because after grace, the human condition was revealing itself in all its imploring poverty, you learned to love more, hope more. You start to have a kind of trust in suffering and its so often unbearable paths. Okay, I got chills. This is Clarice Lispector. This is the woman that I have been obsessed with. I have experienced a state of grace, profoundly a transformation, and I'm in touch with it, in and out of it throughout the day, all the time. But all of this awareness, this is deep awareness that she's describing here. And in that awareness, you still know that you don't know, but you know that you don't know. And that's I'm catching my breath, because this type of understanding of what I'm feeling makes me like start shaking inside. I start to feel intense, like, I don't know, a lot going on. And I used to feel it a lot in the beginning at church. I think I told my pastor, my first conversation with him came like maybe, I don't know, 3 months or 2 months after I had already been going like every Sunday. So I had been going, and I never even introduced myself to him. And when I did, I told him that sometimes when he's talking, I feel like an anxiety, like I feel like my chest is racing. When I read her stuff, it makes me feel the same feeling, because this is like, yo, that's it. I have been wanting to share what I'm experiencing with someone, like the transformation, the sense of like awareness, the blessing of grace. I don't, because I understand that I've tried to talk to people about things that are deep in the past, and I've been met with like vacant eyes. And I am 99% of the time by myself or with my child. So I am alone in life, but I don't feel lonely. When I talk to someone and there's nothing here, I feel lonely. And I was tempted, like I said, to send these passages to my pastor, but I'm not going to do it. Of course not. I might go into a church, Catholic or not, nearby and seek counsel from a pastor that I don't care about. I think that happens because I'm highly aware of how busy the pastors are in my church. I want to like interrupt and get in the way. So my issue is that I care about my pastors at my church too much, and I consider them. And so because of that, I hold back. But I am in need to talk to someone. I would say, if my journey is a health concern, my pastors are like my doctors, and I'm dying to like really get into conversation. Get ready for the beauty of Clarice Lispector. Look at that. Firstly, I find olive skin brunettes to be divine, because I am. Oh, you know what's funny? I was talking to my friend who is discipling me, my friend who I'm in fellowship with weekly, like we meet up. I was talking about what I'm attracted to in a man, and I told her that I'm attracted to a prominent ethnic nose, and she was crying. And I told her that I think it's like a way of loving myself. Like, I have really strong ethnic features, really strong bone structure, really strong ethnic nose. You know, you seek yourself in others, or you see yourself in others. Thank you for listening to me. I don't know what I was saying. Talk to you soon. Peace. Not in the slightest could Lori imagine what the state of grace of the saints must be. She had never known that state and couldn't even guess at it. What was happening to her was just the state of grace of an average person who suddenly becomes real. The discoveries in that state were unutterable and incommunicable. She remained seated, quiet, silent. It was like an annunciation. It wasn't, however, preceded by the angels who, she assumed, would come before the grace of the saints. But it was as if the angel of life were coming to announce to her the world. Lori couldn't explain why, but she thought that animals entered the grace of existing more often than humans, except they didn't know. And humans realized it. Humans had obstacles that didn't get in the way of animals' lives, like reason, logic, and understanding. While animals had the splendor of something that is direct and moves directly. God knew what he was doing, Lori thought.